Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Amanda Gold. If you don't know, I will fill you in real quick on who I am and why my face is in this video talking to you. I'm a sober artist. I'm in recovery from drugs and alcohol over 6 years. Yay! Let me tell you that if you knew me before, you would appreciate what a big deal that is, because it seemed really fucking impossible. So hooray for that. I'm an artist and I'm a creativity coach. So I'm starting this thing. I post 3 videos a week. Thursdays I'm calling Thursday Thoughts, and a lot of times I make notes before I do stuff. And today I'm just going to experiment with winging it. That's kind of what I liked. The appeal of Thursday Thoughts would be just going to freestyle at you, stream of consciousness, let some stuff come out, and we'll see how it goes. You're always welcome to post in the comments what you like, what you don't like, and I will certainly take it into consideration, because this is for you all. I want to build community around this, and so feel free to share what you think is working, what's not working, what you want to hear more of, all that good stuff. I'd love to hear it, for real. Also, you can work with me one-on-one. Awesome. It's so exciting. I'm very excited to offer one-on-one coaching. So if you're interested in knowing more about that, feel free to shoot me an email and about anything else at amandagoldmakesart@gmail.com. And I do a free discovery session, so there's no commitment to just finding out what the heck is coaching all about, what the heck am I all about when I'm coaching, how can I help, all these great things. It's super free and fun to find out, so consider that. Okay, freestyling with Thursday Thoughts. Well, I'm struggling today. I had quite a bit of a dramatic struggle, which this is what makes me a badass coach, is that I'm constantly coaching myself and I'm seeing the progress that I'm making. And again, let me tell you, if I can do this, anyone can, because my mind was fucked up and it still can be. And I'm not alone in this stuff. And so if there is hope for me and if there's ways for me to manage my mind, these are teachable and I can help you manage yours. And so that's super fun, and that's why I'm here. So this has to do with me being an artist, and this has to do with what I was talking about Saturday, dealing with rejection. And today I experienced a pretty big blow that felt like rejection. Specifically, it was an art job that I had that the person pulled out of. He basically was like, thanks, but no thanks, after we'd already agreed and I was trying to do good work for him. That fucking stings, dude. And so there's a couple things to pick apart though. My brain immediately went to, I read the email where he was like, I'm gonna take a pause in this. I read that email and I was like, I fucking knew it. I'm fired. He fired me and I knew this was gonna happen. And then underneath that was, because I'm a shitty artist, and why am I even trying to be an artist? And I'm a fraud and a failure. I failed. I suck at life. I should go lay down in a dirt patch and die. Okay, that's my brain. That's the stories that my brain still is doing after 6 years of thought work and mind management and coaching, right? So if you've never been coached and this is news to you about how you can work with your thoughts, just know it's a lot of work. And if you feel like you're working on it and it doesn't feel like it's working right away, it's working. It just takes time, because these kind of thoughts that I have where it's I knew this wouldn't work, I'm a failure, a fraud, and a phony, and I'm a shitty artist, that stuff had been getting traction in my mind and forming itself into a habitual thought and way of thinking and core belief about myself for years, many, many years. And in those years, because I had those beliefs and I was tending to them, I surrounded myself with people that reinforced those beliefs, like abusive boyfriends and shitty friends, and my own self talking shit to myself and pouring alcohol on it and doing drugs about it, and just basically living the kind of life that mirrored that back to me. So it was just this vicious, nasty feedback loop. So I'm doing a lot better these days, but it is very natural and normal and still painful and shocking when that stuff kind of rears its ugly head. And being told that I'm actually not a fit for a certain job, or that this person doesn't want to go ahead, is a prime trigger for feeling rejected and feeling shitty and feeling like I want to give up. But having said that, I want to share the good news, the progress in all this. So the goal in this stuff isn't about never having shitty thoughts again. I don't think that's possible. I think we can tone them down. I think that with thought work, we can get them to lose their viciousness and lose their sting, or we can shake them off more quickly, but they're still going to fucking come at us. And especially if there's areas of our life that are particularly vulnerable, or like I've noticed as I've been putting myself out there more, building my business, putting myself out there as a coach, taking on more challenging artistic opportunities, then my body image issues kind of come back. So there's a lot of, it's normal for this stuff to still be activated and active, and that we still have to constantly work on this, is what I'm saying. I don't think the goal of thought work and coaching and any sort of self-help improvement practice that we're doing is to never feel bad again, right? But the joy in this and the gift and the progress that I'm making and that I want to help other people see is how I respond to this, what I do when this happens. The fact that I can even say like, oops, I'm telling myself a really shitty, painful story right now, that's progress. That's one of the goals of this. And it was really cool because even as I shed tears about this. I called my boyfriend about it. I called my brother about it. I told my best friend about it. Like, I got help with this because it sucked. And then I sat with the feelings and I coached myself through it. And even when that was happening, like even when I was like triggered and in the drama and the tears and I failed, you know, even in the midst of that, I felt this steely, gritty resolve that was like, I ain't quitting. Like, that's fine if this guy doesn't want to work with me. That's totally his right. No hard feelings, but I ain't fucking stopping. And in fact, I'm going to double down. So that's new for me. Like back in the day, old Amanda, if she got, first of all, she wouldn't even be putting herself out there to have an opportunity to have taken away. Okay. There would be nothing to be rejected from because I wasn't ever doing anything because I was too busy feeling like shit and being depressed and being drunk and high all the time. So it's a really, it can be seen as a huge success to be rejected because that means you're out there, you're getting out there, you're trying, and that's a big fucking deal. Being brave, being bold, being willing to be visible, that is a big deal. So there's that. And then, God, what the hell was I saying? This practice about feeling rejected and being okay with it. Sorry, this is probably the downside of just trying to flow with it. I lost my train of thought, and that's okay, because I ain't stopping. Oh, I was talking about the old Amanda. Okay, the old Amanda would, okay, if she had even been out there and available for opportunity and then been fired from a job or told she wasn't the right fit for something, then she would have gone and been super depressed about it and wouldn't have tried again for many weeks, months, or years. And she would have drank about it. So, gotten drunk about it. So that's progress. Like these days, a drink doesn't even cross my mind. That's fucking huge. I'm not like, oh, well, I failed, I suck, I may as well go get high. And I don't get depressed anymore. And I felt some shame and some embarrassment about it. Like there is still a piece of like, oh, he didn't like he didn't give me the chance. Like he didn't like what I was coming with. He wants to run it by some other artists. All that sort of hurt my pride where I was like, fuck. And there was a time when I would have really let that crush me for days or even longer. And I wouldn't have made art, and I would have like wallowed in my self-pity, and I would have been like depressed about it. And today it's like, all right, I'm going to feel the shit. I'm going to get through it. I'm going to take care of myself through it. Because there is a thing that I used to do too, where I would like skip over the bad feelings because I knew I didn't want to feel bad. And I knew like logically, like, oh, this isn't personal, keep going, yada, 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 like all the rah, positive thinking. That has danger too, because then I'm skipping over very real feelings that I need to feel. Today, I'm getting a lot better at being like, ugh, like just admitting like this sucks. This feels like shit. I was afraid that this would happen, and put a pin in that because there's something about that. But today it's like I have a better process of feeling it, being with it, and that's self-care, like taking care of myself, being like, oh, I see you, that hurt. You were looking forward to doing that job and now it's gone away and that's a bummer, and you were looking forward to that money and you were excited and you thought he liked you, you thought you were a good fit, blah, blah, blah. Feel that shit, and then I know like what to do to keep going. And that's another skill I've picked up through doing this, is like I'm gonna keep going even if I feel shitty. I might just do it like a little gentler, I might go a little slower, I might give myself a nice break. Or like today I bought some awesome ice cream and I went and read in the park for a little bit, instead of just diving into the work that I had scheduled for the day. So there's a balance between like loving myself, tending to this injury, this thing that feels like an injury, and then continuing to forge ahead, right? My boyfriend asked this great question. He's like, so what's next? And I'm like, yeah, what is next? I've got other art projects to work on. I've got my coaching thing to work on. I've got this video to give to you today. So still like steady moving forward no matter what. That feels like a huge gift. And then asking for help, that's a big deal. There was a time when I would have been too embarrassed to tell anyone. I would have been so ashamed that I had been all excited and told people about this job, and then have to admit that I don't have this job anymore because I wasn't coming up with good enough ideas or something. And still, that's a story. Like the guy, when he told me he didn't want to do this project together, he didn't even say anything like, you're not doing it, right? Like he was like, he had his own reasons that I'm like layering my stories onto, right? So yeah, it's a good thing that I asked for help. That's been a big thing that I've learned in my recovery process. Like, I don't have to do this shit alone. And so I call my supportive, amazing boyfriend. I call my awesome brother, who's also a creator and an artist and knows what this shit is like. And I call my best girlfriend, who has my back and like would understand what this feels like and supports me and feels for me. And also, these aren't people that are gonna like get down in the misery with me. Like, they're all about like, okay, that's fine, feel this, I feel this with you, and now what, you know? So that's super awesome and important. About this idea of like how my first thought was, I knew this would happen. I do want to talk about that too, because these stories that we tell ourselves are important to look at, because it really points to a core belief that I'm still kind of harboring within myself. And I'm grateful for this opportunity to take a closer look at that, because I do think that can sabotage the shit that I'm trying to do today. So if I'm sitting there every time I send him a drawing, or every time I start to draw for him, or even in our first approach where I'm like, I can't wait to paint this mural for you, underneath there is this thing of like, I'm a fraud and he's going to find out and he's going to fire me. And so part of me feels like I created this situation, because we do create our own realities. And if I'm thinking that I'm not a good artist and he's going to fire me, then that's crippling my work. It's affecting the stuff that I am showing him. It's affecting how I'm showing up, even if it's subconsciously. But if I'm out there like, no, I am the person for this job and I am going to rock your face off with my talent, and the value you're going to get from me is tremendous, then I'm going to show up in a different way. And maybe if I had that belief a little more locked in, maybe I would still have this job. I don't know. It's worth looking at. There's a fine line between like being willing to see where I can improve and also like not beating myself up for stuff that's out of my control. Like, this guy has his own situation going on. I don't know what it is. Like, he sent me an email with some reasons why he didn't want to proceed with this job, but who knows what? Like, I don't know what his situation is, and I don't need to take it personally, and I don't need to read too much into it. But I do think it's worth just seeing, like, did I fucking sabotage that because I was afraid of whatever? So that's some stuff I'm going to carry forward. And that's the other thing that is new and improved about me, Amanda, on coaching and thought work instead of drugs and alcohol, is that now I get really kind of excited. Well, first, okay, I have this unshakable faith in the universe. And I love that saying of like, if you ain't on that train, that wasn't your train. So if I was meant to have this job, I'd fucking have it. And so there's a part of me that really has learned to practice the belief of this or something better. So if this didn't work out, that just means there's something better down the line. And I can really feel into that and lean into that. And I can practice being grateful. Like, cool, for whatever reason, this wasn't a fit. I don't know the bigger picture here. I'm only a small part of this giant plan. And I'm going to choose to believe that there was a reason that this isn't working. And maybe I've been spared something. Maybe there is a better opportunity just around the corner. And if I was involved in this other little mural, I wouldn't be able to say yes to this other opportunity that's coming. And maybe just the value is in watching my mind and getting to see yet again where I still have limiting, funky ass beliefs. And now I get to look at those and heal them. So there is a part of me that's not just like Pollyanna, like super positive no matter what. Like I said, I feel the shitty feelings, but there is something that's just like, okay, cool. Like I can let that go. I can accept that this happens and just trust that it doesn't mean I'm a bad artist and should give up. Quite the contrary. I'm going to keep going, and this will all work out. So I think that's everything I wanted to share with you today. Feels complete. All right, I'm going to keep tending to myself because that stuff still is a little bit painful. But thanks for being here, and thanks for listening, and feel free to share any thoughts that came up for you. Thursday thoughts can be about your thoughts too, yo. Send them, and then, like I said, if you want to work with me one-on-one, shoot me an email at amandagoldmakesart@gmail.com. You're awesome. Thanks for being here. I will be back Saturday with more on May's theme, which is rejection. Oh my gosh, I have so much to tell you about that. All right. Thank you again. Take care. Bye.